So let us start with this second module, that is computerized process planning system. So process planning. So then what do you mean by this process planning? So process planning, it acts as a bridge between a design and manufacturing by translating a design specifications into a manufacturing process details. So when we send the part drawing to the manufacturing people, so they don't understand what has to be done. So for that reason, we have to prepare a process plan. So that in that process plan, so we will be having the data, what has to be manufactured, what is to be manufactured, in what quantities they have to be delivered. So that is nothing but a process planning. So a route sheet will be prepared such that it will be having the all data, that is in what week how many quantities of the part has to be manufactured, and when they have to be delivered, and in what quantities. That data is nothing but the in performing the data, that is called as a process planning. So the process planning, so it refers to the set of instructions that are used to make a component or a part so that the design specifications are met. So as I told, so it is nothing but how the component will be manufactured. Okay, so is a major determinant of a manufacturing cost and profitability of the products. So process planning. So process planning, it is having the input, that is nothing but the what we are going to do the drawing, the 2D drawing. So that will be inputted to this process planning, and the corresponding output, that is the root sheet, will be getting the output. So to this process plan, we are having some mechanisms and some constraints are there. So then mechanisms, so that is the industrial engineers. So we need to put the knowledge of the industrial engineer has to be shared, and the tool and gauge designers. Okay, the NC part programmers are required, process planners are required to do the process plan. So these are the, with the help of these mechanisms, that is engineers, tool and gauge designers, NC part programmers, planners, they are nothing but the inputs. So then the constraints. So constraints is nothing but the facility layout, the layout of the factory, whether it is a, so the conventional layout or it is a group technology layout. So that has to be decided to do the process planning, and the knowledge of the process plan, it is the most important, that is, so he should be knowing the what are the, how many machines are there, how many tools are there, what kind of tools are there. So that he can prepare a process plan neatly, and the intelligence of that process planner, and so the time, so the time is main important criteria in this process planning. So the basic process in developing a process plan. So then what are the process are required to develop this process plan? First we have to do the analysis of the part requirements. Okay, first we have to do the analysis. So selection of a raw workpiece. So the raw workpiece has to be selected. Determining manufacturing operations and their sequence, means, so what are the operations has to be performed on that part, and in what sequences has to be done. So that has to be done. Then selection of the machine tools, so what kind of machine has to be selected for that particular part, and we have to select the tools, work holding devices and inspection equipment for that particular part. So the next step is the determining machining conditions, what cutting speed should be given, what feed should be given, what depth of cut has to be given, and manufacturing times, what is the time associated with the setting the part and the tool, and what is the processing time associated with that part, and what are the manufacturing lead times. So these are the steps what we require for do a process plan. Then we are having two approaches, that is process plan approaches, so manual systems and the computer aided process planning. So before this computer aided system, we were having a manual systems. So in the manual system, a skilled individual examines a part drawing to develop the necessary instructions for the process plan. So that the manual worker, so he will study the part drawing in detail, so that the process plan has to be prepared. So he requires a knowledge of the manufacturing capabilities of the factory. That is, so he must know what are the machines are there, and what are the process capabilities are performed in that industry, and what are the toolings are available, materials are available, standard practices which are done in that industry, and associated cost. So widely used, this process manual process plan is a widely used method, and it is a time consuming process. Plans used over a period of time may not be consistent or objective. Means the process plan prepared for a particular part, so it may not be the same for the other part, and excessive time is required to prepare this process plan, and cost may be required to develop necessary skills for the successful process planner. The cost associated with the manual process plan is a little bit high when compared with the computer aided process planners. So one of the main drawback is that suppose the process planner, if he retires or if he leaves that particular job from that particular industry, so then the new person has to be required, hired for the doing the process plan. Again he must be given training, that is what are the machines and tools materials which are available in that particular industry, and it is a time consuming process for the new process planner. So that is the main drawback with the manual process plan. And the also the time, it is a most time consuming process, and also the cost associated with the manual process plan is a higher one. So then with the help of this computer aid, so when the computer came into picture, so the with the help of these computer we can do the process plan easily. So then what are the benefits of this using the computer? So it systematically produces accurate and consistent process plans. Okay, so with the help of this computer we can prepare a, accurate and consistent process plans. So it reduce the cost and lead time of the process plan. So in the manual process, so the cost associated with the process plan is higher, and the lead time, that is a process plan preparation time, is higher in case of a manual process plan, whereas it is less in case of a computer aided process plan, and it reduces the skill requirements of a process planner. So whereas in the manual process plan, so the knowledge of the process planner must be high, whereas in case of the computer aided process plan, so it is the skill requirement is less. Increases productivity of the process plans. So process planners means we can produce a more kind of more number of process planners in a particular period of time. So interface applications programs such as work standards, cost estimation, and lead time estimation can be done with the help of this computerized process planning. Means so we can do the cost estimation of the product and the lead time estimation, and we can set the work standards, but it is not possible in case of a manual process planners. So consistently optimize process routing means we can minimize the optimize the process routing as and when where required, but in the manual process plan we need to prepare the new one for the each part. So it reduce the pre-production lead times. Okay, so it reduce the pre-production lead times, so increase responsiveness to the engineering changes.